A thunderous, dark cloud dipped into the town late one Sunday afternoon, ripping up school, churches, and much of Main Street. Picking up the pieces of culture, like an antique watch collection in the street, was heartbreaking for 86-year-old Carl Arsgaard, the curator of the town's folk collection for 40 years. Northwood, North Dakota, population 958, remained the highest concentration of Norwegians per capita in the nation. Hallingdal dialect from over 100 years ago can still be heard over coffee at the senior center. The community was stunned. A bucket brigade was organized to evacuate the artifacts from a rain-soaked, wind-damaged building. Volunteers came from far and wide to help. A parade of farmers, store owners, civic leaders, students and teachers, Air Force personnel, all showed up ready to work. Although the museum was a low priority compared to damaged homes, flattened school, and collapsed church, everybody wanted to start rebuilding the town. I stood in line as a retired colonel with Army Community Service experience and as a retired professor, asking, "What can I do?" "We've handed out all today's assignments," they said, "except the museum." I don't know much about museums, but I'll take it. First, I listened to Carl, a natural storyteller. He had a story for every artifact, like they were family. He had stories about every corner of the town, every intersection on the landscape, and stories from roots in Norway. I listened intently for days to Carl and other concerned citizens. I pondered how these stories could be shared with others. As their school was destroyed, many students offered to help. As they picked up artifacts, they began to ask questions. Some would use their cell phones to take pictures and send to a friend. It got me thinking about ways to reconnect the stories of artifacts, describing the meanings of these collections that hold the memory of the courage it took for immigrant families to take up a new life on the prairie. Many of the items from the museum were treasured enough in Norway to make the long journey to the heart of America. After 3 years, the Pioneer Museum reopened in time for the town's celebration of its 125th year history. Ascending the long flight of stairs to the upper floor of the museum, Carl, now slowed by chemotherapy, has a new story to tell. One of renewal, how a community came together to preserve its heritage for future generations.